Hi, this is Dave again. Since last time, I wanted to check out Claude Code because Claude 4 just came out. I saw some presentations on it, and yeah, it looked very compelling. It does very well in coding, even large projects. So the goal was for this, I wanted to see how well it could code a Slack chat clone. Here's Claude Code. Um, Whatever, it's fine. And oh, well, last time it gave me a nice splash screen. But anyway, this is the interface. You ask Claude Code for stuff in here. It uses the Claude API to talk to Claude. You can choose a model. These are the defaults. So I already ran the Slack app, already tried it out. Worked very well. I'm going to cut over to some video that I recorded through that process. Okay, I wanted to go over what I did. So the first question I gave Claude, I said, hey, I want to build a Slack clone app. Think about how to structure and organize it. And yeah, that was pretty much it. It wasn't that organized or anything. It came up with this file. I had to ask it to write this to disk specifically because it just kept it in its memory somehow. But this is how it broke it down. And you can see it's already accomplished these things, but we'll get into that later. So yeah, and this is, if you see people like coding with prompts, they'll do this kind of thing manually. They might use another LLM to say, hey, plan a thing and make a to-do list. But Claude did this like internally, I guess. So there you have it. For a breakdown, for phase one, I can't really run it now, but because I've already have, but for phase one, it generated these 4 files here: project structure, database schema, auth system, API structure. The project structure, file system, like what the directory structure is; database schema, what the tables look like; auth system, like I said before, gives common patterns for doing auth and some endpoints, and it laid out a base API to implement. For implementing part 2, the MVP, I'll just flash back to some footage I had of running Claude when it was in the process. Now it's implementing the Socket.io client integration. So writes down all the interfaces. These are also documented in some of those planning docs, I think. This was just created, so there was no stub file it was working from. Yeah. Adding reactions, typing indicators. Okay, we're back. The MPV provides fully functional Slack-like experience, ready for phase 3 enhancements. So it said it completed the back end, the front end, shows some real-time features. Here's like its to-do list that it had internally. It's changed slightly every time it's reprinted it. Let's see how that goes. Great. The last thing it did, actually did this at the very end. It created a README, and it gives all the instructions for installing it, starting it up. So we're going to do that. npm run dev. Okay, so we're here. We're going to sign up. That's a problem. Let me pause. Okay, I'm actually sharing the window now. What I did before was it had like a sign up page. So I put in an email, username, display name, and a password. That succeeded. So now there's a team space. So Acme Corp is fine. Look, there's a workspace URL. A first workspace. Look at that. I don't have any of those. Okay, Acme Corp. Select a channel and start messaging. So, no direct messages. Let me add a channel. Example channel. Okay, so that's the first error. After getting the error, I posted it in, and looks like it figured out a plan. It created a new workspace member attribute on the request object in the auth. Then I ran out of money, so just be mindful of that. I added more money, and yeah, it continued. And it just gave a great explanation, better than mine, of what the issue was. So the original middleware was relying on workspaces in the JOT token, It might not be up to date when a new user is newly added, which is what just happened. Yeah, so the fix, it made a database first approach, just looking in the database directly, and a couple other things. Came up with an error. That's fine. Just some logout error. Okay, we're logged back in. Look, there's a general channel already. I can just see if it fixed that error. And it did. Hello world. Put a 0 there. Okay, I wanted to experiment messaging on the app from another computer in my local network. To do that, I had to build the production build and then deploy that rather than running the dev build. Had some debugging to do. There were some cores issues and issues with the build. There were some TypeScript compiling errors. Most of it sorted out with LLM, which was cool. A couple I did on my own just because they were simple type errors. But yeah, and I hacked the database at the end because it looks like the feature to have 2 users on the same workspace wasn't implemented in the UI yet. But it looks like in the back end, it's working okay. So in general, let me see. I have to sign in again. Okay, let me pause. Okay, I'm signed back in. Look, there's another user here. General, here's what I said. I'm going to go on the other computer. This is David 2. Here it is. How is it going? Great. Look at that. It's just working. It choked a little bit at first on the other computer because the message didn't show up. But it looks like it's working now. That's all I've got. That was using Claude Code to write all the code by itself. I mean, if you just let it go, I pressed enter for every change, so it took longer. It took about a half hour. It worked running in dev. The only thing that took longer was resolving build issues and resolving cores issues. Other than that, there it is. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching.